Welcome back. Once again, it's a very special edition of Backstage 30 celebrating the Indigenous and Aboriginal artists in our community. And once again, I have my lovely co-host Jaimie. And Jaimie, this place is new to me. Where are we?
So we're at the Manitoba Indigenous Cultural Education Center, and it's located in Point Douglas.
Wow, and how does it serve the community?
Well, I think it serves this specific community and Winnipeg at large because it offers a place to learn about Indigenous culture and language.
And it has a special meaning or place for you too.
Well, my mom's actually been taking me here since the 80s and 90s because it opened in 1975. And in 2010 it went through major renovation, and it's quite stunning the way it is, and just what it does for the community in terms of being here to support culture and to honor the distinct nations of Indigenous cultures and languages.
Well, it stands for so much, and when we're talking about preserving languages, music is a universal language, and we do have so many talented Aboriginal and Indigenous artists right in our community. Well, we will shortly meet an artist, Leonard Sumner. Why did you choose Leonard?
Well, Leonard Sumner is from Little Saskatchewan, Manitoba. He's a Anishinaabe, and his work is extremely important on many levels. Not only is it extremely intelligent, but it's very unique in that it blends hip-hop and country together. And that is essentially, quintessentially Leonard Sumner in that. And he's also actually known as one of the most important vital new voices in the entire Canadian roots music scene, as quoted from a music festival organizer. And I think that's incredible because he's important on the Canadian scene.
Wow, about to make his mark, here is Leonard Sumner performing his new song, Resistance.
They just go back to wherever from they came. Funny thought, if you ask me, I'd probably say the same. Cause even if I'm standing with a bottle or a feather, it doesn't seem to matter. I'm a bother, not a brother.
Well, welcome to a very special edition of Backstage 30, Leonard, and it is always a pleasure to hear you sing.
Thank you.
All right, so your lyrics always come from the heart. Let's talk about inspiration. I mean, Res Poetry is a great album. I guess what inspired you for that one?
I was inspired by a lot of different things, my upbringing and my own cultural awakening, and telling the story of Indigenous people, my modern experience as a young Anishinaabe person, and trying to find understanding into why things are the way they are, and trying to understand the history of this country. So there's so many different things that were inspired, and then just regular things like heartbreak and stuff like that was also a part of it. And yeah, I'm inspired by people's stories, listening. I get a lot of ideas just from sitting and listening and being in the places that I feel like I'm sent to, like I was in Ottawa last week, and I was taking part in the Truth and Reconciliation Commission and listening to the stories of the elders and the people the survivors of the residential schools, and things like that inspire me. And I feel like if I'm going to write about stuff like that, I should be, present in the community and out there. So there's, I'm inspired by family, life, and experience for the most part, and then like other musical influences like country music, hip hop music. So those are all of my inspirations.
So give me a blanket sign talking about a Pendleton, and you can hide all the truth as a punishment.
Well, and you think music and yourself being a musician, it's entertainment. But what kind of message do you want to send to young people right now, today?
There's a lot of different messages, I'd like to send. I'd like people, not just young people, but all people in general, to start incorporating more of the culture into their life, learning about our Indigenous cultures that were here for thousands of years, and like learning the languages and going to ceremonies and stuff like that. Very powerful experiences. Learn about the history between, you know, the relationship of the church and the government and First Nations people. And then you'll understand, you'll see beyond the surface of what exists in the streets, you know what I mean? So learn about, you know, colonialism, learn history and figure out who you are and take pieces of whatever works from the modern world and of course take that with you as well. You know, we have to walk in two worlds, a lot of people say, and it's important to have balance.
Wow, such words of wisdom. When can we expect the new album?
I'm really hoping to get into the studio in September and just record some of these songs that I've been working on for the past few years. Like it feels like yesterday, but my album's been out for almost 3 years now. So, you know, it's people have been bugging me since I released it. You know, so it doesn't come easy though. You know, like a lot of these songs, it takes time to write and it takes time for me to think, and perspectives often change as well. So sometimes you have to change a lyric here or there, or, you know, you perform it a few times, you get comfortable with the song, and then you're like, you know what, I don't want to say it that way. I want to take a different approach to saying something. So these songs they're like people to me. You know, they live, they exist, and they're living, so they can change too. So hopefully I get my new stuff recorded this year and have a release for next year. But that's just putting it out there. Who knows if it'll happen that way, but that's what I would like to do.
Well, we can hardly wait, Leonard, because you have so much to tell us and so much to say to our young people and all people right now. So thank you so much for being part of this. We really appreciate it.
You can hide all the truth as a punishment, and I can hide all the wounds that I'm covered in. And we can pretend this all was a covenant. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Swing low.
Don't go away. Coming up next, you're going to meet Chuck Copenace, and he happens to be, I believe, the only Aboriginal trumpet player in Winnipeg.
My name's Chuck Copenace. I'm a jazz trumpeter. I used to play in a band called Moses Mays. We toured around all over Canada and parts of the States. But I haven't been playing for a little while, for about 5 years. So this year I decided I'm going to put a band together, playing groovy electronic, kind of funky jazz kind of stuff. I wasn't into music at all. It was kind of like everyone's forced to do music in grade 7. So I was looking for the smallest instrument case because I knew I had to carry it around. So I picked the flute, but I couldn't play it after a night, so I grabbed the trumpet the next day. I still had some time to choose. And when I grabbed the trumpet, I brought it home. It just seemed really easy. It only had 3 buttons on it, and so it was very simple. And I guess that's what caught, because I ended up finishing the grade 7 book in the next couple days. Music, right from when I started playing it, it became the kind of the central thing in my life, and it became what I do even when I was going through high school and junior high school. I remember coming home after school and I would play for 2 or 3 hours every day after school, and nobody was really telling me to do that. It was just something that I would do, and it just became something that I defined myself as someone who plays trumpet really quick. After university and after high school, I started having problems with alcohol and drugs. When I was in Vancouver and I was playing in bands and stuff, but I was having a lot of trouble in my life. I know for sure that music was the only thing that was kind of staying constant in my life. It was times in really dark periods where it was the only thing that was keeping me thinking that, you know, it was kind of keeping me kind of defined. And then when I got sober and came to Winnipeg, I got into social services kind of work, and that's very fulfilling as well. A year break turned into 5 years, but I was doing other really good work too, so now I want to do my good work and I want to do the trumpet work and kind of try to mix them all together. I'd like to inspire young people, but primarily Native people, to choose, you know, another path musically. There isn't a lot of people playing instrumental, like choosing trumpet or choosing saxophone. All these things are options for everybody, and I'd like to be able to inspire Native kids to take those options as well.
Jaimie, we've been having so much fun on this journey with you, but we have yet one more stop to do.
Yes, we're going to be going to the Fork Skate Park to interview Graham Constant.
Wow, we're looking forward to that. We're going to hit the rails right after the break.